ready to sign in. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Good to have you at our travel talk featuring Celebrity Cruises. My name is Lisa Antflick. I'm one of the consultants with Expedia Cruises. This travel talk is being hosted by our 6 Edmonton Expedia stores. If you are new to Zoom, I will let you know that you have entered muted. You do have the ability to turn your camera on or off. We'd love to see your faces. So if you feel comfortable, you can keep your camera on. There is also a chat feature. We will be doing some question and answers at the end of the meeting. So if you have a question, you can type it into the chat. So it's good to have you with us. Welcome and thank you. I am so excited to see so many people tonight. We are expecting about 90 people on Zoom, and we're also live streaming on Facebook Live. So it is my thrill to see so many people that are interested in travel. We are now in 2021, and it has been a very interesting year. I think a challenging year for all of us, and a very challenging year in the travel industry. And even though travel has come to pretty well a standstill, our love of travel has not stopped. And I know if my passport and my suitcase could talk to me right now, they would be yelling at me for ignoring them. But I am truly, like many of you, missing travel. We're doing the right things. We're staying home and we're not traveling, but the love of travel is still there. And that's why we've decided to bring you these travel talks. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We have a whole series that we're going to be doing up until April, because most of us love to travel. We want to inspire you. We want to educate you. We want to inform you on what's happening in travel, because things will be a little bit different. So we are bringing our favorite travel partners with us, our suppliers who will be able to inform and educate and inspire you. So right now I want to introduce Chad Kolowenko, who is Business Development Manager of Celebrity Cruises. And he is going to tell us all about Celebrity and where we stand with travel. So welcome, Chad.
Thanks very much, Lisa. And thanks to everybody from Northern Alberta for jumping on and joining Celebrity Cruises tonight. Obviously, I love to normally be in Edmonton at this time of year holding one of our Taste of Modern Luxury booking events, and we've had a lot of fun up in Edmonton doing those over the years, but obviously this year is a little bit different. We're going to do it virtually, and because we rely on laptops and internet access and Wi-Fi bandwidth, what I'm just going to ask Lisa is, as we go through tonight, if anything cuts out with the audio, if you're noticing anything with the video, resolution going wrong, just prompt me, like unmute yourself and prompt me so that I know we've got an issue and we can resolve it. But hopefully the IT gods are with us tonight and we can just forge ahead. So thanks everybody for being on with us tonight. And it's been an interesting period of time, and I'm sure lots of you guys have questions on what's going on in the world of cruise. And I know tonight is a theme about Europe, so we have lots of exciting stuff to talk about for Europe 22. And I guess without further ado, we can kind of jump into that. But one of the things that I did want to start off with is that I know the rumor mill has been alive and well in terms of what's happening with the industry, when are things restarting, what is happening. And Randy had asked me if I could make sure to kind of touch on that before we actually got into any of the destinational stuff tonight. So I can share what we know and what we don't know at this time to maybe help kind of clarify what's happening. So the first thing I just wanted to mention is that many of you that are kind of paying attention to the cruise lines and our announcements would have seen that we recently announced a pause on sailings until April 30th worldwide. And, while some people might have said, oh, more cruises are canceled, I think that one of the things that's really important to pay attention to is that it's not a bad news story. This is the first time that canceling a bunch of cruises has actually had a good news story as part of it. And so with that cancellation meant that the driving force behind making the cancellations was to clear the room for us to launch what is our last phase before we can get back to commercial cruising, and that's to do the test phase of cruises with the CDC. So if you look into the next few months, we've cleared the path so that we can schedule in vessel by vessel our test cruise phase. It's going to be about 100 days per vessel by the time we have to register, run the test cruises, and then apply with a waiting period to the CDC. So it's not that the entire industry or our fleet is going to turn back on overnight, but it is going to be a ship by ship reintroduction back into service with our newest ships and our biggest ships kind of leading that charge. And so I think you will see cruising happening again, at least in the test cruise phase in Q2 of this year, with commercial cruising to follow shortly thereafter. And I know that the other thing that a lot of our guests and our travel agent partners all across North America are wanting to know is those burning questions around things with the health and safety protocols. Am I going to need to be tested before I get on the ship? Is there going to be laboratories on the ship for testing? Am I going to have to wear a mask on the ship? Am I going to be able to get off the ship and walk around, or do I need to be on a cruise line, official shore excursion? The real answer on any of those items is that they're not finalized yet. And if you've heard any rumor mills, if you've read any blogs that state that they do know what the answers to those questions are, it's not legit. Those topics have really been moving around in our conversations with the CDC. And as we gain more knowledge about everything it takes to effectively operate with the virus, it means that we're changing our protocols to be more effective and to still provide a good customer experience. So we're targeting probably about mid-March before we will actually release what that looks like on all of those levels. But just rest assured that the pillars that you see here about making sure that prevention is the main focus to ensure that all ships sail with healthy guests and crew in terms of the wellness screening in advance is one of our main focuses. Mitigation to make sure that when people are on board, that we're really making it very, very safe and very low risk in terms of what could happen on board in terms of any transmission. The destinations, we're working with the different ports and governments right now to have assurances that this will still be an enjoyable experience. It's still going to allow for exploring the ports that we're going into, etc. Mobilization, if there are any cases on board the ships as we return to service, our responsibility for the care of our guests and getting them home, etc., without burdening any of the local governments, etc. That's all built into the plan. And then validation, just to make sure that it doesn't matter what ship in the fleet you're getting on, it's consistent the whole way through. Those are the pillars. It's a pretty exciting plan. I was kind of walked through a sneak peek last week on what it all looks like, and it'll be coming to the public eye very soon for you guys. Like I say, hopefully mid-March will be something to take a look at there. So, once that's out and once the test phases are moving ahead, then it's time to look at getting back to cruising. And I think that I know we've got a lot of people on the web with us tonight, and probably a lot of you have cruised but maybe haven't experienced celebrity cruises yet. So the one thing that I did want to just let you know is that in the scheme of things, with all of the different cruise product out there, Celebrity Cruises has actually been voted the best premium cruise line for 12 consecutive years now. And when you think about the cruise industry and some of the great cruise lines that are out there that are premium or luxury brands, it's really noteworthy, I guess, that Celebrity has kept that top spot for 12 straight years. So any travel supplier can have a good year because you came out with a new product or a new resort or a new ship or a great promo. But when nobody can knock you off the top spot for 12 straight years, I think that really says something about the caliber and the quality of the product that we deliver. Even if you are a past Celebrity guest, as I go through some of the Europe content with you tonight, I wanted just to make mention that when you look at buying Celebrity as a cruise product now, we recently revised our pricing model, and we became what is called always included. And so when you purchase a Celebrity cruise now, our lead-in base rate fares are called always included, and they have 3 really high value perks that are built into them for you. So we will always prepay your gratuities for the cruise. We will always prepay your high-speed wireless at sea for 2 devices. And we will always include a classic unlimited alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverage package for you. So always included means exactly that. It's on all categories, it's on all sailings, and it will be always included for our lead-in rates. Now, you do also have the choice to move up and go into Elevate or Indulge. And you'll see what the differences are here is that by upgrading into these higher packages, it's a $39 Canadian per person per day upgrade charge to go into Elevate, and then the same up into Indulge. And that would upgrade you into a premium beverage package with all the top shelf alcohols, etc. It will give you a good amount of onboard credit to spend on shore excursions. You can get up to $400 per couple, $200 per person per couple to spend on board. Or if you go into Indulge, it gets even richer. It's up to $800 per couple that you can spend on board. Plus, you get upgraded to Stream, which is the highest speed bandwidth at sea. So you have choices in terms of, I guess, what levels you want to buy us at. And for those of you that wanted to treat yourself as we come out of this pandemic and as you've been locked down for a year and not been able to take that holiday that you're used to taking, if you want to treat yourself and stay in our retreat experience, all of our retreat suites are basically based on the Indulge package, where you get all 4 perks and kind of the highest level of perks that we offer. So that's just a little bit of a glimpse of kind of how our pricing model looks these days. The other thing is, if you see something that you like tonight, as we kind of make our way through and tour through some of the new deployment, I did want to make mention that we have created a program to allow our guests to go ahead and make a booking now in the environment that we are living in now with a lot of uncertain times, that will make it very simple and easy to have confidence with going ahead and making a booking. So I just want to quickly explain what this means to you, because it's a lot more flexible and kind of protects the consumer better than any policy that we've previously had. So Cruise with Confidence, basically, it's exactly that. It allows you to confidently go ahead and make that booking. And this is for all sailings all the way through till May 4th of 2022. And and you can make these bookings up till April 30th of this year. And this will allow you to cancel for any reason and get 100% of your money back into a future cruise credit with us to use in the future. So we know that it's uncertain times, and we know that people still want to book something to be able to look forward to. So cancel for any reason under Cruise with Confidence. You change your mind up to 48 hours prior. and your money just goes back into a future cruise credit for you to use in the future with us. The other thing that is something built into this, and part of it, is the best price guarantee. If you're worried that you book now and the cruise line might come up with a better deal later on your cruise, if that ends up happening, you have best price guarantee built in as part of this Cruise with Confidence policy. And what that will allow is that right up to 48 hours prior to sailing, if the cruise line came out with a better deal, you can have your Expedia consultant reach out to us, and we will just adjust your booking for you so that you can get that new pricing or promotion. So that Cruise with Confidence really, we hope, will allow everybody to still get to do exactly what they want to do, which is select a cruise, book it, and look forward to it without having any anxiety about, did you make the right decision? What if it goes on sale? What if I want to change my mind? That's all looked after by way of the Cruise with Confidence program. I also just want to make mention that Expedia Cruises is the #1 partner for Celebrity, period. I was going to say in North America, but it's globally. So when we think about all the different travel agency partners that sell Celebrity Cruises in the marketplace, one thing that I would just like you to know is that as our #1 partner, Expedia Cruises, we give them special pricing in their group blocks. They have more group blocks than any other account in North America. Generally speaking, when you talk to a consultant at Expedia Cruises, you're going to find rates that are better than market rates. You're going to find onboard credit benefits that other people don't have. And you're going to find space on sailings that might otherwise be sold out or getting close to sold out because they are still holding on to some of these group blocks. So it's been an incredibly successful partnership for Expedia Cruises with Celebrity. But one thing I do want to just make mention as we look forward into 2022, the way that the game is changing in 22 in the cruise industry is that as we restart this industry, and as many of the cruise ships are only going to be sold to about a 50% capacity, you're going to find the cruise lines are going to fill a lot faster with this reduced capacity. And so things like access into these special pricings and group inventory blocks that Expedia Cruises has, they're going to go a little quicker than maybe we're used to seeing. So if you know that you want to have something to look forward to, I think the smart play would be to have that booked now with the knowledge that you're safe once you've booked it, because it's going to be very flexible, it's going to be changeable, you're protected under Cruise with Confidence, etc. But supply and demand for 22, especially with today's announcement about 21 Alaska, if it's Alaska 22, if it's Europe 22, we know that those ships are going to fill faster, and it's going to be in your best interest before market rates start increasing, before inventory disappears, to at least talk to your consultant from Expedia Cruises to make sure you've got something at least secured for yourself. So that said, I would love to kind of take you on a little bit of a tour on what we've got going on now that our deployment has been announced for 22. And tonight's theme is, to be focused on Europe, which is one of my favorite parts of the world to travel in. And certainly cruising Europe is an exceptional experience. So we can dive into our 22 Europe program. So, a few things to talk about for Europe 22 with Celebrity is, first of all, our newest ship, which is the Celebrity Apex, is actually going to do something that was not planned, but we've kind of changed around what our deployment options were, where we're going to base her out of Amsterdam, and she's going to be doing the Baltics. So the Baltics have always been an incredibly popular destination and itinerary for Celebrity. And now to match it up with our biggest, newest, most expensive ship, I think will be a great matchup. So For our past Celebrity fans that love our Millennium class ships and our Solstice class ships, if you haven't experienced an Edge class ship, the Apex would be a great one to be able to do that on. And now you can explore the Baltics and Northern Europe by way of that change in our kind of overview for Europe. The second thing just to mention is that the sister ship, the Celebrity Edge, will be operating a full 7-night program in the Med. So a 7-night program in the Med dovetails nicely into some pre and post stays to kind of make it a little bit of a land cruise vacation in Europe for 2 weeks. The Reflection is replacing the Edge in the Mediterranean and offering overnight stays in Istanbul, Turkey. So really happy to see Istanbul back on the radar. So that's some exciting news. More and new overnight stays in some of our ports of call. So Istanbul, Turkey will be visited by both the Celebrity Apex and the Reflection. And then for Bordeaux, the Apex and the Silhouette is something that we're going to be doing as well. And I think we talk about this a little bit more later, but just while we are on the topic of overnight stays, I did want to point out that Celebrity understands how important, especially in Europe. I mean, you can make this argument for a lot of the destinations around the world, but especially in Europe, because the reason you go to Europe is to really get a taste and a flavor for all of these amazing ports of call. Celebrity actually offers more overnight stays than any other major cruise line. So we have a big focus to make sure that you have the nighttime tourism, the destination immersion, the opportunity to experience these ports of call after dark. And you'll see that in our 22 deployment, and we're pretty excited about it. We've added in some new ports of call in the Norwegian fjords in Norway, both on Apex and Silhouette. So if you've experienced that part of the world before, we're adding new ports of call to get to explore as well. And then a bunch of returning ports of call that we haven't seen for a few years. So the list is there for you. And just in the essence of time, we won't play read along on everything tonight, but at least to kind of give you a bit of the overview. So heading back into some unique ports of call in Portugal, in Sweden, in France, and in Norway. So pretty excited about that. 54 overnight stays in 22 versus 37 that we have scheduled in 21. So you can see that as per the previous comments about our commitment to really have the additional time to explore the ports of call, whether you're talking about Iceland, whether you're talking about overnighting in ports of call in France. Now we've added an overnight stay for Turkey, ports of call for overnighting in Israel, in Portugal, in Russia, in Italy, doing overnights in King's Wharf in Bermuda. This is really one of the key factors that truly does set us apart. And to see how we keep evolving, because I'm guessing most people on the session with us tonight are probably looking into 2022 for their next booking. And if that is the case, it's great, because when you kind of see how we continue to evolve, destinations visited for Europe, 97 ports of call for us. Countries visited in Europe, 27. 2 new ports of call, over 21. Overnight stays, 54 different overnight stay options, and 35 different 7-night sailings. And the ships, if you're a Celebrity fan and kind of making your way through experiencing the fleet, the newest ship, the Celebrity Apex, and her sister ship, the Edge, both deployed to Europe for 22. The beautiful Celebrity Reflection, the revolutionized Silhouette, and I'll talk about the Revolution towards the tail end of things. Also the Constellation and the beautiful Celebrity Infinity will be the ships, the 6 ships that we'll have based in Europe for 2022. This is a great at a glance. If you're watching this at home on your computer and you want to take a quick shot of this on your cell phone so that you have the pic, I'll also make sure that your Expedia Cruises consultant has access to this as a quick guide. But this gives the ship, the region, the embarkation port so that you know where you'd be going into if you want to spend a few days flying in early to explore. And so this gives the overview of where we are, which with each of these ships. You can see that the Apex, I had already kind of mentioned about the Baltic. So the embarkation gateways for Apex are going to be out of Amsterdam and Rome, doing Scandi Russia, the Norwegian fjords. Iceland and Ireland has become incredibly popular by request with our guests. So we've tried to add more of that. And it's great to see they put our newest ship on that deployment. And then the British Isles continues to be really popular for us as well. The beautiful sister ship, the Celebrity Edge, will be focused on the Mediterranean, going out of Barcelona and out of Rome, which again, great gateways for air and great gateways to spend a couple days pre or post. So you're going to see Edge doing a mix of Spain, France, and Italy itineraries, Italy and Greek island itineraries, and Italy, best of France and Spain itineraries. So that's a great one as well. For the Celebrity Reflection for 22, moving her into a Mediterranean deployment, she will sail out of Rome. She'll be doing one of my favorites when you combine Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. Everybody has their personal favorites, and that's mine. But in addition to that, when we kind of review the guest feedback surveys after people cruise in Europe with us, the Italy, Croatia, Montenegro cruises do have some of the highest satisfaction ratings and highest surveys out of anywhere that we go, because it's such a unique and awesome set of ports of call that they do on that deployment. That ship, the Reflection, will also be doing a nice blend of Italy, Turkey, and the Greek islands. The Silhouette, which was recently completely gutted and turned into the look and feel of our Edge class ships, we call it the Revolution. She's going to be visiting the Norwegian fjords, Scandinavia, St. Petersburg. You're going to have Spain and France itineraries on her. She will also be doing Iceland and Ireland, and then the Canary Islands, Spain, and Portugal. So that's exciting for the Silhouette. The Constellation, we're going to have based for Rome and Venice, doing the best of the Western Mediterranean ports of call, also doing some itineraries that will visit Venice, Turkey, and the Greek islands, getting into choices to do Venice, Portofino, and Florence. Which that again is a pretty unique set of ports of call on that deployment. So that would be something I'd recommend checking out for sure. And then finally, the Infinity is going to be Mediterranean based out of Venice, Rome, Barcelona, and Lisbon. I know we've got a lot of well-traveled people on the web with us tonight, but I'm not sure how many of you have actually visited Portugal or certainly sailed out of Portugal. So with those Mediterranean options, we are going to be doing on the Infinity, you've got Croatia, Italy, and Greece. You've got the best of Spain and Portugal. You've got a multi-port Western Mediterranean option, and you've got Italy, Croatia, and Malta. And for anybody that hasn't had the good fortune to experience Malta yet, I would say Malta is my favorite stop in Europe. It's certainly become kind of the jet setter destination for a lot of the movie stars and rich and famous in Europe. And it is certainly something that is wonderful to explore. And it's a great port of call to cruise into to get to see it from the vantage point of the ship sailing in as well. And the Canary Islands are on that as well. So that's our kind of at a glance. And if you caught a snip of that on your cell phone for a pic, that might help you kind of narrow down your choices of where you want to be with what ships. I'd also be remiss if I didn't just show this slide really quick. I know I started off the presentation by giving you a bit of an understanding in the scheme of things about our accolades as a brand. But then if you actually wanted to even dive a little bit deeper into our recognition in Europe, we've been voted the best cruise line in Europe for 10 consecutive years. So most of the major cruise lines do operate some product in Europe, And this is a destination that I would say we own. Celebrity, this is our forte. The overnight stay strategy in having more overnight stays than any other cruise line, I think, is really paying off for us on our Europe experience. And this slide would really speak to that, because pretty much any award you can win for being a cruise operator that goes to Europe, we've won it. And in many cases, we've won it for consecutive years. So that's exciting stuff for us. And it kind of helps show that we're doing it right. So to get a little bit deeper into the actual itineraries, I might have kind of sparked your interest a little bit there in terms of what we've got going on for these itineraries. And so I wanted to show you, and in the essence of time tonight, we won't be able to talk through all of the itineraries, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of read the highlights. You can scan the ports of call, and you'll know which ones you want to go back and have a further conversation with your consultant at Expedia Cruises on. So I'll at least highlight the new stuff for you. So we do have a new 11-night Italy, Turkey, and Greek islands on the Reflection. And when you take a look at some of the ports of call being visited there, whether it's Mykonos or Santorini or getting to Ephesus, if you haven't seen Ephesus, folks, that's probably one of the most memorable ports of call and destinations that I've ever experienced, because there's going to museums, and then there's actually walking into a place that shows world history in real time as they're doing the unveiling and doing the digs on the historical sites there. And it's really something to behold. So all of the ports of call, I think, on that itinerary are absolutely awesome. And you've got a double overnight stay there for Istanbul in Turkey as well. There's also a new 7-night Italy and Greek islands on the edge. And you can see you've got Rhodes, Santorini, Mykonos. I have good memories of all of these destinations. And I think that for those of you that haven't experienced Rhodes, because I know a lot of people make it to Santorini and Mykonos, but if you haven't experienced Rhodes yet, there's the old Town Heritage part of Rhodes, which is a World Heritage Site. And it's honestly, it's a lot more like a mini Rome than it is the rest of the Greek islands. And if you haven't experienced it, it's something to check out. So I think that's a really great itinerary as well. Another new one is the 7-night Italy, Croatia, and Greece on the Infinity. And that one does Kotor, Montenegro. So you've probably heard a lot of good things about Dubrovnik in Croatia. And I think there's a lot of imagery out there in cruise brochures, and Croatia is, it's absolutely stunning and beautiful. But what sometimes doesn't get as much fanfare is Montenegro, and specifically the unique kind of cliffside port of call of Kotor is when I talked about the surveys of people that had cruised in this area coming back with the commentary, that was kind of one of the #1 destinations that people raved about, because it was so different, it was so unique, and it was a very different experience for them compared to a lot of other ports of call that they had been able to visit. So that one is worth checking out, just for the fact that you've got 2 ports of call in Croatia. You've got Corfu, which in my opinion is one of the most beautiful islands in Greece. And then you've got Kotor. I mean, just a great itinerary. Then you've got a 13-night, another new one, 13-night Best of Western Med. So it's pretty much a 2-week exploration through Spain, getting into the coast of France or the French Riviera, getting into the Italian Riviera, getting up into Croatia, doing Koper in Slovenia, and then back ending up in Venice to explore there. So when I think about why we have all of those awards under our brand right now for celebrity visiting Europe, it's itineraries like this that I think really, help set the bar. There's some other great 22 Europe itineraries to be talking about for Northern Europe experiences. So we've got a 7-night Norwegian fjords on the Celebrity Apex, doing a bunch of great stuff around Norway. We've got a 12-night Ireland and Iceland. And this has been one of those things that we kind of tested out a few years ago to see what the market would respond to, or if they liked what this itinerary was all about. It's been hugely successful for us, to the point where we decided to allocate that itinerary to our newest, biggest, best ship. And I think that you're going to find that this is something that even if you've cruised a lot and maybe you've cruised in Europe, this is probably something a little bit different that you might want to experience. We've got 12-night Scandinavian Russia on the Celebrity Apex as well. And that's the one going out of Amsterdam. So that's a pretty awesome one to be taking a look at. And then for people that want to spend a more focused experience in the British Isles, we have, it's almost a 2-week journey through there. It's 12 nights, getting to really explore places like Liverpool, England. We're getting to explore Ireland. We're certainly getting to explore lots of parts of England, including the White Cliffs of Dover, etc. We're spending some time in Scotland and experiencing Glasgow. So some really good stuff to take a look at in Northern Europe with us. In terms of new ports or returning ports in the Norwegian fjords, here's a good shot of kind of some of the stuff that's either new or returning for us. So we do have quite a bit that we keep adding in terms of where we're visiting or where we're going back to. The top Mediterranean experiences for 2022 to maybe be talking about: 11-night Italy, Turkey, and Greek islands. If that sounds like something you like, you can take a look at kind of all of the unique stops that we're going to be making there, or I guess the highlights. We've got a 7-night Italy and Greek islands on the Celebrity Edge. And that one, again, we talked about Rhodes, so that's a great opportunity to check out Rhodes. A 7-night Italy, Croatia, and Greece on the Celebrity Infinity. That one doing Kotor, Montenegro, Dubrovnik, Croatia, getting into Split, Croatia as well. And then you've got a little bit of Greece in there as well. And a 13-night Best of Western Med on the Constellation. You can see that that's a nice mix of Slovenia, Spain, and Italy. Love how they mix it all together, because it really makes for a diverse itinerary on these ones. Overnight stays that are new for us: Istanbul is an overnight stay, Bordeaux, France is an overnight stay. So this is going to be a great opportunity to kind of enjoy yourself for the evening destination immersion with our cruise line on your Europe vacation. And so by ship, you can see Celebrity Apex. We talked a little bit about kind of what she's doing, but this is a more in-depth look at the fact that she's sailing out of Amsterdam. She's replacing the Reflection there. She'll be doing the 12-night Scandi Russia. She'll also have a choice on the 7-night Norwegian fjords with the 2 new ports of call. She'll do a 12-night Portugal, Spain, and France, and a 12-night Israel and Mediterranean in the shoulder season. So that'll be the first Edge Series ship in that region ever for our brand. So we're pretty excited about that. Her sister ship, the Celebrity Edge, will be doing a core programming of 7-night Mediterranean cruises. The 7-night Italy and Greek islands, which we had just looked at, I think is going to be super compelling. The Italy, France, and Spain in peak season will certainly also be a really great itinerary to take a look at. In shoulder season, we will switch her up to a 12-night Italy, Turkey, and Greek islands. And then in shoulder season, also 8 and 10-night sailings in the Med. So that's what Celebrity Edge is going to be up to. For 2022 Europe on the Celebrity Reflection, moving her out of Northern Europe and into the Mediterranean. This is going to be 10-night Italy, Croatia, and Montenegro. So that, to me, again, if you're looking for tips, or maybe you haven't cruised Europe before and you're trying to decide, do we go with kind of the standard Eastern or Western Mediterranean, or do we try something different? I would strongly recommend taking a look at something like that 10-night Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. And then we talked about the 11-night Italy, Turkey, and Greek islands. So that's going to be on Reflection. And for Silhouette, we're going to go to Southampton. So that, is going to make it easy for air from Canada to get into Southampton. 7-night Norwegian fjords, 12-night Scandinavia, and St. Petersburg. So in St. Petersburg, you do have double overnight stays. So there is a great opportunity for exploring Russia. 12 and 14-night Iceland and Ireland in the peak season. And then on the shoulder season, doing 9-night Spain and France sailings. So that is what the Silhouette is going to be up to. And the beautiful Celebrity Constellation is going to be doing the 9-night Venice, Portofino, and Florence. Also offering a 10-night Venice, Turkey, and Greek islands. And a 9-night Best of the Western Mediterranean. And new for her is a 13-night Best of the Western Mediterranean, which I showed you some of the ports of call that she'll be doing as well. The Celebrity Infinity will be doing a 7-night Croatia and Greece in peak season. That's going to be round trip from Venice, and it's going to have stops in Dubrovnik and Kotor. It's going to do a 9 and 10-night Best of Spain and Portugal in the shoulder season, and that's going to be out of Lisbon. And then we're going to do Canary Islands and the transatlantic on the Infinity. Is for those of you that like those sea days to just relax, the transatlantics on Infinity might be something great to take a look at as well. Your consultant from Expedia Cruises can certainly help you in taking a look at the different ports of call and what they have to offer. And we do offer resources for your travel consultant to work with, where when you click onto the links, it basically gives you the port highlights of everything that you would want to experience in these ports of call. So as well traveled as everybody is on this WebEx tonight, I'm sure there's a lot of ports of call on the list that you see in front of you that you have not yet been able to experience. And before you actually lock into anything for your next cruise, I would suggest maybe doing a little bit of research, getting your travel consultant to do it with you and click through on some of these links so that you have a better understanding of what all these amazing ports of call have to offer. And if you're somebody that's experienced Europe a few times, it would be a great opportunity in 22 to see some of the ports of call that you haven't yet had a chance to visit. This Celebrity Revolution, ladies and gentlemen, is something I also just wanted to mention, because as I walked you through a lot of what's going on in 22 with Celebrity Cruises in Europe, I think it's important to know that we have 3 different classes of ship. We have the new Celebrity Edge series of ship. We have the beautiful Celebrity Solstice class ships, and we have the Millennium class ships. The Celebrity Revolution is a commitment to make sure all of the ships in our fleet are taken in to dry dock, completely gutting the staterooms, redoing all of the public areas to give them the look and the feel of our Edge class ships. And what's so really important for me to mention here is that we're not doing the Revolution because the ships are tired. We're doing it because we have a commitment to make sure it doesn't matter what ship you get in on our fleet, they all have the same look and feel. So for example, if you look at the ships that have the green check mark, and you know that these ones have already been done, if you get on the Millennium, the Summit, the Equinox, the Silhouette, the look and the feel, the experience is going to feel like the Celebrity Edge. The Constellation and the Infinity, or the Eclipse and Solstice Reflection, their dates are still coming, but I don't want to confuse anybody. And sometimes this happens when you read cruise blogs or stuff like that. They think, well, they haven't been refurbished yet. And that is absolutely not correct. So all of those ships, the Constellation, the Infinity, the Eclipse, the Solstice, the Reflection, they've all been refurbished. they haven't been gutted and replaced with the look and feel of the Edge category, but they've all been solsticized. They all are fresh. They look good. So just because they haven't gone through the celebrity revolution, all that really means is the Edge look and feel has not been added, but the experience of what the award-winning Solstice class looked and felt like, and the refresh or refurbishments have all been done. So there's no ship in our fleet that I would not highly recommend as looking and feeling like a fresh, luxurious vessel. So how are we doing on time here? Okay, I see that we're getting close to time. And so what I want to do is, tonight was a focus on Europe. And I just want to make mention that when you are forward planning into 22 or early 23, we have released our 2022 Alaska, and it is open for sale. The only thing that I will say to everybody on this call tonight is that if you were thinking about Alaska, or if you were booked on Alaska for 2021, the announcements today from the Canadian government would say most likely 2022 Alaska is what we need to be looking at. And because we know it's a reduced capacity in 2022, the faster you can book something and secure your space and your date on 22 Alaska, the better, because it's going to have been 2 years hiatus for any cruise line to sail Alaska. So we know 22 is going to be off the charts in terms of selling out fast. So that's the one thing I would just want to mention about Alaska. A second thing that I'd like to mention is that Celebrity Cruises has not visited Mexico or the Mexican Riviera anyway for 8 years now, and we are returning for 2022. So we will be back for 7-night Mexican Riviera and also 8-night Mexican Riviera for 2022. So if you love the ports of call in Mexico and you like the sunshine, great news for you. Celebrity Cruises is back and ready to experience Mexico or Mexican Riviera again. We've also opened up our Panama Canals for 22, are now open for booking into. Bermuda and Canada, New England have all
I think Chad is just frozen. Chad, right now, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're frozen. Okay. Well, I think we'll continue on then. So I'll kind of fill in a little bit. Oh, I'll fill in a little bit for Chad. So basically, Celebrity has all of 2022 and into 2023 itineraries, all destinations open for sailing. Obviously, he ran into a little bit of technical difficulty. So I do want to say that, you know, looking at what we covered tonight, part of it was remembering things that I've gone to, and the other part was a whole list of new destinations that I want to go to. So I've definitely enjoyed the presentation from Chad. I want to
Lisa,
reiterate,
am I back with you guys?
Now you're back. Yes.
I think we had the Wi-Fi work against us for a moment there, but I can wrap it up. That's fine. We were about at time anyway. So what we
I just let everybody know that all the destinations for 2022 and into 2023 are out and available for booking.
Yeah, perfect. And let me finish off then, folks, by just basically giving you what's going on with Expedia then in terms of why you can book and how you can book. So right now is a great time to be able to book into something with Expedia Cruises, because you are going to be able in the month of February to stack on top of stack on top of stack. So the exclusive inventory and pricing that we talked about a bit earlier in the Expedia group blocks, you can take that better than market pricing, and you can take that inventory, and you can take that onboard credit that's associated with it, You can then count on the fact that we're protecting the always included 3 perks. So, pardon me, even when these groups were created with just 2 perks as part of it, we have grandfathered everything in across the board now to be a 3 perk rate. So always included with the Wi-Fi, the classic beverage package, and the tips will be included to stack as well. Now, if you're booking more than 10 months in advance into those group blocks and those rates, we're going to give you an additional 100 or 200, depending on category. It's 100 for Inside or Ocean View and 200 for Veranda and above. As long as you book into those groups and get those rates 10 months prior, that can be up to $200 of additional onboard credit. And we are talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sailings that you guys have those blocks on. So the majority of it you have something on. And then we're offering a fixed airfare or airfare savings until February 28th as well, where you can take for Europe or Caribbean or Alaska savings of up to $200 on flights. So to get you there might cost a little bit less. So all of that is combinable with each other. And in addition to all of that, like if you want to take a picture of this for your notes with your travel agent, go ahead and snap a photo of the screen, because that's kind of how we're stacking the offer, if you will. And then the next slide that I'm going to show you is basically what I'm going to bring to the table on top of all of this, which will be an additional $100 USD onboard credit. I'm happy to offer it even if you're redeeming with a future cruise credit that you've got to use with us. I'm going to let this be for all open deployment. So any new booking that you want to go ahead and make, we'll give you this. And the booking window is February 10th through February 28th. And so that's going to be our exclusive booking offer for you. So if you want to snip a little picture of that as well, then that will give you the offer. And the last thing that I just wanted to also let you know is that working with your consultant from Expedia Cruises, we sometimes partner with people that have airlift like Air Canada Vacations. And Air Canada Vacations, if it was Alaska, I know this was a Europe presentation, but I just wanted to put this out there. They're actually upgrading. If you remember the slide where I showed you, we've got always included, elevate, and indulge, the 3 pricing levels. And it's a pretty big jump in terms of moving up into elevate. And right now, they're actually going to cover the cost of that upgrade for you if booking through Air Canada Vacations, and certainly your Expedia consultant can help get that booked. So that's an Alaska booking offer that I just want to mention because it's so rich and they're paying it for you. So I want to make sure it was on the radar. And if you like some of the stuff that you saw tonight, folks, we've got short videos where you can tour the Celebrity Apex or the Celebrity Edge. You can check out our dining guide in a 7-minute video. You can do virtual ship tours of almost all of our ships. You can do virtual tours of many of our destinations. You can see our entertainment in short videos. So everybody uses YouTube. We have our own channel on YouTube. It's just type in Celebrity Cruises. It will bring you to our landing page of our channel. And we've made it short videos to allow you to get to see and experience the ship, to see and experience the culinary, to see and experience the destinations right from the comfort of your living room. So if you feel like jumping on YouTube, as you've maybe seen some stuff tonight in the destinations for Europe for 22 that you like, but you haven't experienced an Edge class ship yet, please feel free to jump on there, do the virtual tour. And I'm sure after you've done that, you'll be talking with your Expedia Cruises consultant about getting booked. So I'm glad I made it back after the Wi-Fi cut out to at least get to kind of show you what the offers are. And
Chad, the slides with the offer did not come up. Can you maybe share those?
So the slides with the offer didn't come up.
No.
Okay, so let's try that again.
You can just let everybody know. And just for all the guests with us, all the Expedia Cruises consultants are also going to be very aware of this offer as well. So please reach out to your consultant.
So give me a thumbs up, anybody that I can see on video, if you can see the offers. So if you've got your cell phone, folks at home, and you want just to have something for backup about the offers that I talked through, just go ahead and snip a quick picture of this. So this was what I mentioned about the layers, if you will, where you've got the exclusive pricing and the exclusive inventory by way of the group block. You've got it combinable with the always included amenities and pricing. You've got it combinable with that early booking bonus offer of the 100 or 200, depending on category that you book. It's then plus combinable with that airfare offer with the fixed rate out of many gateways in North America, or you could take it as a savings if you like. And then on top of that, there's what I mentioned in terms of my support for the offer or for the event, which on top of everything that we just discussed, I will stack yet another $100 USD onboard credit for any new bookings. The booking window will be February 10th through February 28th. And I'm sorry, Lisa, I'm glad that you brought me back to the slides, because I don't think I mentioned it when I first talked about this slide. For my additional layer, it does need to be veranda and above to qualify for that. But it will be on all open deployments. So any cruise that we've got open for sale right now, this will qualify on. The only caveat is as long as it's veranda and above, but 75% of Celebrity's inventory is veranda and above. So hopefully that will still work out.
All right. Thank you so much, Chad, for a fabulous presentation. I know we all enjoyed it. Just want to reiterate a couple of things that Chad mentioned. Best price guarantee, so there's no risk in booking early. If the price goes down, we can price protect you, as well as all the flexible policies in terms of changing and cancellation. I will tell you that even though travel has stopped right now, we are getting tons of calls. People realize that they have to make up not for only for 2020, but for 2021. And like the rest of you, I'm even missing the safety drill on the airplane. And I used to always close my eyes and sleep through that. So I'm definitely missing travel, and I know we all are. And the demand for 2022 is going to be amazing. I can vouch for what Chad said. Our group space is not lasting. I was looking for a couple sailings this week and having difficulty. So with refundable deposits and price guarantee, there is no reason not to book for 2022 and even into 2023. All 6 offices are open due to COVID restrictions. We are asking that you do call your consultant for an appointment. Also want to remind you to follow us on Facebook and check out our YouTube channel, EC Travel Talks, where this and all the other talks that we've done are recorded. And we have every Thursday next week, we're going to be featuring AM Resorts. You may not have heard of AM Resorts, but you might have heard of Secrets and Dreams. So some beautiful luxury resorts in the Caribbean, if you want to join us for that. Now, I'm just going to check if there are any questions, if you want to type them into the chat box. Chad, I did have a question from one of my clients who wanted to know if there is a wish list that they can send to Celebrity about ports of call that maybe they want to see for the future.
100%. In fact, when you look at most of the new itineraries and deployment and ports of call that Celebrity brings into the fold, the #1 way that we actually create our new deployment is feedback from our existing guests, because Celebrity is in a unique position compared to a lot of other cruise lines where we have a lot of repeat clients. And so we know that catering to what our guests want to see and what they want to experience is the best recipes for success forward. And for that reason, we are very open to any feedback that our guests want to give in terms of the ports of call that they'd like to visit and why.
And should I just email you, or should you email Celebrity? Yeah, okay, perfect. Perfect. There is a question in the chat box, Chad. It said, this is from Max. I just want to make sure that autism services are the same as on your sister company, Royal Caribbean. Can you address that?
They are. So luckily that anything to do with those special services is consistent across both Royal Caribbean International as well as Celebrity Cruises being sister companies. And we're proud to have the services set up and the professional support for that.
That is wonderful. Well, I don't see any more questions in the chat box, so I thank you so much, Chad, for the time and the wonderful experience. For all of you who have joined us, travel has stopped for the time being, but it will start again. And every morning I wake up and say I'm one day closer to getting back on a cruise ship. And I know if any of you want to join me on that, I'd love to have you. So thank you so much, everybody. And we look forward to seeing you again on our Travel Talks.
Thank you for having me. Take care, everyone.
Take care.